Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Turkey says it has brokered a deal with Russia to unblock exports of grain from Ukraine through the Black Sea. Turkish President Tayyip Recep Erdogan made the announcement saying he would give good news to the world about grain exports after delegations from Ukraine and Russia signed a deal under a United Nations plan to resume Kyiv's grain exports. Earlier, the Turkish Foreign Minister met with the Secretary General of the UN. The agreement in Istanbul is between Ukraine, Russia, Turkey and the United Nations. Ukraine is one of the world's largest grain producers, and Russia has been blockading its major Black Sea ports. The world shortage of Ukrainian grain since Russia invaded has sent food prices soaring and left millions at risk of hunger. Former White House aides have described extended, exhaustive efforts to persuade President Donald Trump to record a video on January the 6th, telling his supporters to leave the Capitol.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
But even more telling were Mr. Trump's asides in the second recording session, captured in previously unseen outtakes of the former president, including one where he says, "I don't want to say the election is over."
Have defied the seat of dust. It's defiled, right? See, I can't see it very well. Okay, I'll do this. I'm going to do this. Let's go. But this election is now over. Congress has certified the results. I don't want to say the election's over. I just want to say Congress has certified the results without saying the election's over, okay?
Security forces in Sri Lanka have raided the main anti-government protest camp in the capital, arresting protesters and dismantling tents. Hundreds of troops and police commandos moved on the protesters outside the presidential offices in Colombo hours before they were due to leave the area. 9 people, including 2 who were injured, have been arrested by police. Police described the incident as a special operation to take back control of the presidential secretariat. It comes as Ranil Wickremesinghe was sworn in as president on Thursday, after ex-president Gotabaya Rajapaksa fled the country last week. Police in Brazil say 18 people have been killed during a raid against a criminal gang that controls one of Rio de Janeiro's most violent favelas. 400 heavily armed military police were deployed to the Almeio favela in the early hours of Thursday. Officials said 16 of the dead were suspected criminals, while a police officer and a bystander were the other 2 victims. The operation lasted all day and left thousands trapped in their homes. The objective of the raid was to locate and arrest criminals who were planning operations in rival slums. The 400 officers were backed up by 10 bulletproof vehicles and 4 helicopters. Intense clashes have erupted between rival factions in Libya, with reports of several people killed amid growing concern that a political standoff could prompt renewed conflict. Witnesses also said there was fighting in the Aspar area and in the Ain Zara. Tripoli residents said a man and a child had been killed. Local news reports, citing medical sources, later said that 5 people had been killed. Libya has been teetering on the edge of chaos for months after the Eastern-based parliament rejected the unity government in Tripoli, which was installed through a UN-backed process last year. Twitter has blamed its ongoing battle to close its $44 billion acquisition by Elon Musk and a weakening digital advertising market for a surprise fall in quarterly revenue and a net loss. The results come as Twitter has sued Musk for dropping his offer to buy the company and is now preparing for a legal showdown in a trial set to begin in October. The deal has worried Twitter's advertisers and caused chaos inside the company. Total second quarter revenue, which also includes revenue from subscriptions, was $1.18 billion compared with $1.19 billion a year earlier, while analysts were expecting $1.32 billion. And finally, a new photograph of Prince George has been released to celebrate the future king's 9th birthday. The photograph was taken during a family holiday in the UK earlier this month by his mother, the Duchess of Cambridge. Kensington Palace said Catherine and husband Prince William were delighted to share the image with the public. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.